My name's Derek Rodway and I play with boats for a living. Basically been involved with Roswell since 2012. So what makes a good speaker and sound system? A good speaker is a speaker which is going to hold sound and give you crisp highs, good mid-range, whatever it's designed to do, it's going to deliver that. But it's not just about the sound quality, it's the products that have gone in to build the speaker. You want that speaker to be durable and to last. So Roswell, certainly in the last 10 years, has done a lot of R&D work in building their products to be super resilient in saltwater environments like where we are here and where this boat's going to be spending its time. A good sound system is going to give you balance, it's going to give you those crisp highs, it's going to deliver that mid-range volume, and it's going to support that whole sound experience with really good bassline as well. Well, I don't know if Jack rang me or I rang Jack. I think I probably rang Jack. We're talking about some products and stuff like that. We got talking about this new Blackwatch project, and then the game plan was just to have a couple of speakers, just have a bit of music playing when they were out fishing, and then we rocked on up, and after a short period we ended up with a fairly thorough sound system which involves zoning with the helm, the dance floor back here, and obviously the cabin area. So I think we've ended up with a pretty phenomenal sound system, probably overpowering for the boat that it is. The whole wall is flexing.
Yeah, it's all flexing.
But no one's going to be disappointed when they crank the volume in this boat now. All right, so what we've done is put in the R1 system, which is what our top of the range system is. It's our most powerful speakers, our most durable speakers as well. So we've got 8-inch speakers in the cabin. Now the 8 inches, we went for those because there wasn't really any room to put a subwoofer in the cabin. The 8 inches, because of the size of the woofer in the speaker, delivers enough bassline to make the speakers sound amazing on their own. So the captain guys were a bit concerned about mounting the cabin speakers in the bulkhead of the anchor well, just because it's obviously exposed to a lot of salt and water coming in off the chain and the rope bringing the anchor in. But the way the speakers are designed, they're designed to cop that salt. They're designed to last in that blue water environment. So it's certainly no issue at all with the speakers fitted to an anchor well bulkhead, which we've done so many times at the shop now. The smaller trailer boats don't often give you many locations to mount a speaker, but that bulkhead is typically always there in some way, shape or form, and yeah, we haven't had any issues. The speakers are designed to be able to handle that impact. Up in the helm, we went 8s just because we could. We could fit them in. With 6s would have been more than enough, but we squeezed in the 8s just, and I think they're rewarding the effort we went to with that. In the dance floor here, or the fishing area here, we've got our 10-inch sub powered up with a pair of 6.5s, which gives a real nice crossover of frequency range there. But because of where the 8s are positioned, the 8s are bleeding down in the cockpit as well, so it gives a really good sound everywhere. And then when the curtains are open here, those 8s are positioned up on that bulkhead with in the anchor well there. They're just throwing straight through the boat all the way to the back here as well. So back here, you're copping a full earful, that's for sure. Amplifiers are designed to make the speaker do exactly what it's meant to do. So a speaker isn't just something that receives whatever signal in and it just plays whatever. A speaker will have a sweet spot of where the frequency range is designed to hold. So an amplifier will take your signal, allow you to adjust the crossover to get your frequency bang on where it needs to be, and then it'll allow you to control the gain, which is the volume. So it's a balancing act. If you have more gain, you're going to have less bass. If you have less gain, you can put more bass into the speaker. So like the conversation I just had with you before, do you want your helm to be loud or do you want it to be bassy? And having that conversation, that's what the amplifier allows you to do. The biggest challenge was trying to find a home for the speakers. And it's all good and well to find a flat piece of fiberglass we can drill it into. It's what's behind there, and then how do you get the speaker cables there? In the situation with the R1 speakers, it's not just speaker cables, but we're running a full RGB lighting system. So you're running your speaker cable, then you're running quad core wiring through to be able to power the lights as well. So in some boats, when they're built, they're constructed, a lot of the wiring will run before the deck's joined to the hull, and it's really easy for them to run everything, then they just join it and don't think about it after that. We come along and we've got to try and unpiece all the stitching or the lining or whatever it might be, cushions, and see if there's any small channels anywhere we can run that wiring. And so with this boat, we definitely had some challenges along the starboard side here to try and work out how we can get the wiring, especially down to the front bulkhead where the cabin, where the anchor well is. But we managed to pull that off, and luckily there was already a couple of little string wires put through up into the helm, which got the wiring up there as well. So it's just a matter of problem solving when you're faced with it right in front of you. So tuning's a fun part. We've got all the speakers in play now, the amps are mounted, and you kind of undo some of the work you've done when it comes to tuning. So we'd like to separate out and work on a pair of speakers at a time, and you work on the sub on its own, and it's a matter of getting that balance right between the volume that you want out of that speaker and then how much bass is being allowed through into that speaker as well. So there's certain features on the amplifier which allow us to make that all come together. So today's all about separating it all, tuning each individual speaker as it is, put it all back together, and it should sound absolutely amazing at the end. The best tip I can say for a banging audio is not just a sub, it's about the balance. If you want the sound system to sound good, you need to have that balance. So if you can't afford to have a subwoofer in the boat and an amplified system, you can make that happen with a simple head deck to the speakers. It's just the way that head deck's set up. You just need to have the balance. You can't just have all these highs because it sounds washed out. If you don't deliver the highs and you've just got mid-range, it just doesn't sound right. It just sounds like it just doesn't sound right to your ears. As long as you've got balance in the way it's coming through, you've got lows, you've got mids, and you've got highs, it's always going to sound pretty good. But if you have got that extra spare bit of money, when you deliver a proper sound system with the subwoofer in particular in there, you will know the difference, and you're never going to be disappointed when you turn the music up.
So you've heard from Derek about the system, but I'll give you an actual walkthrough on everything we've got in here. Originally we were running a side box, which means the music was connected directly from our phone to the Bluetooth. There was no need for a head deck, but Roswell has since released this digital media receiver, so we can actually have different zones. So different audio levels on the flybridge and different audio levels down here in the cabin or in the cockpit. And you can also see your tracks on the screen here and adjust it, the volume here too, which is super cool. So in total, the system is 6 speakers, 1 sub, 2 amps, a head unit, and that's not all. This is the RGB controller, which is pretty cool. You can sync the lights in the speakers up to the music. You can get them to do all different colors just by moving your finger around here, changing the brightness, the tempo. This is the party right here.